Hello there, very good afternoon. This is Lunchtime News here on Mtv Sports. My name is Aaron Rajratnam. Let's start with your headlines first. Former opposition organizer of the Mahara electorate arrested for biting off a person's nose. Investigations commenced to apprehend those responsible for the murder of a man whose body was discovered at the residence of the Watala Pradesh Sabha chairman. Earthquake in China claims 47 lives, at least 290 injured. Now to those stories in detail. Sri Lanka's High Commissioner to India Prasad Karyavasam says that India's stance is that a solution suitable for Sri Lanka must come from within Sri Lanka itself. Speaking in News First, the High Commissioner expressed the following views.
India
is paying some attention towards the fate of the 13th Amendment to the Constitution because they believe that it provides a solution to the problem in the north. But at the same time, they have also said that Sri Lankans themselves must find a solution for Sri Lanka. It could be the 13th Amendment or another amendment. If a solution agreeable to everyone is reached through discussions, then India will support it.
Well, Karyavasam added that if all parties in Sri Lanka were to reach a consensus, then India would pledge its support to such an agreement.
If
all the parties in Sri Lanka, including the Muslim and Tamil parties, reach a consensus, then India will support it. There is no doubt about that whatsoever. But all must unite and have discussions and reach a consensus, then India will support it.
Well, today is Asala Full Moon Poya Day, which assumes prominence for yet another ritual of the Sri Lankan Buddhists. This is the annual rains retreat of the monks Vas, which commences on the day following the Asala Full Moon.
One of the prominent events associated with Asala Full Moon Poya Day is the conception of Bodhisattva in the womb of Queen Mahamaya. It was on a day like today that Prince Siddhartha relinquished the lay life and did the Abhinishkramana of renunciation to become an ascetic in search of the truth. This day is of great significance to the entire Buddhist community, as it was on such a day 2 months ago after Buddha attained enlightenment, delivered his first sermon to the 5 ascetics at the Deer Park near Varanasi.
Well, the Sri Lanka Public Health Inspectors Association says that steps are being taken to inspect all dhansals that have been organized across the island today. The association's Assistant Secretary C.S. Muthukuda said that over 1,000 PHIs have been deployed for this purpose. He added that PHIs would also be inspecting food stalls that have been erected near places of worship.
If there are individuals who have not registered their dhansals with the association, we request them to speak with the relevant inspectors in the area to ask advice and guidelines to obtain the registration. We request all dhansal owners to take extra care in the preparation of meals. Furthermore, legal action will be taken against those who ignore these safety standards.
Well, an individual has been found murdered in the residence of the chairman of the Watala Pradesh Sabha. The police media unit said that the victim was a 76-year-old domestic worker. They added that the chairman of the Pradesh Sabha and his wife had left the house last evening to attend a function when the incident had taken place. Investigations are underway by the Watala police into the incident. No suspects have been identified as yet in connection with the incident. Well, a former opposition organizer of the Mahara electorate has been arrested for allegedly biting off a man's nose. Police said that the incident occurred when an argument that took place in the Athanagala area aggravated. The injured individual was admitted to the Vatupitiwala hospital. The suspect was arrested by the Nitambo police this morning and is to be produced before the Athanagala magistrate today. Moving on with more local news, Minister of Power and Energy Pavitra Vanniyarachi says that it is the government's hope to speedily initiate power plants that will enable cheap electricity supply. She expressed these views at a rally held in Maskelia in
We will sign the necessary agreements with India for the Sampur coal power plant. At the same time, His Excellency the President has held discussions with Japan, and we are hoping to construct another coal power plant in the south. Also, we hope to speedily complete the construction of the Uma-Oya hydro power scheme. What we want to do is to carry out the President's goal to provide electricity to the people for cheap by completing these power plants that will generate electricity cheaply.
A gathering organized by the JVP was conducted in the Gonapathirawa area in Kakirawa last evening. The leader of the JVP, Soman Samarsingh, expressed these following views at the event.
දැන් ආර්ථිකය වැටලා තියෙන්නේ. දැන් ලෝක පුරාම ආපහු ණය වෙනවා. සාක්ෂි සල්ලි නැහැ.
The economy has steadily declined. They are going all over the world in search of loans. There is no money in our pockets. It is the fault of the government economic policies. The agriculture industry has been pulled down, not that it has fallen. Factories have fallen and many are shutting down. The government is trying to deceive us. Do not deceive us. Do not deceive the people. Hambantota has set a world record. There is a port with no ships. There is a large cricket stadium, but there is no cricket being played there. It is the termites that are playing cricket. There is an airport, but there are no aircrafts.
ක්‍රිකට් නෑ. ක්‍රිකට් ගහන්නේ වේයෝ. ගුවන් තොටුපළක් තියෙනවා. ආසයත්‍රා නෑ.
Well, the Election Secretariat says that information to fill out postal voting application forms can be obtained by calling the Government Information Centre on the hotline 1919. Deputy Elections Commissioner M.M. Mohammed said that all the required information can be obtained by providing the applicant's national identity card number.
For information on how to fill out the application forms, you can pick up the booklets that have been put on display at the district election officers. In addition, information can be obtained by dialing the hotline 1919. Upon providing your national identity card number, you will be furnished with your postal voting registration number, the full name as it appears on the electoral list, and other information.
Well, the Department of Fisheries and Aquatic Resources say that operations are underway to identify fishermen who use illegal methods of fishing. The department's Director General Nimal Hettiarachchi strongly urged fishermen to refrain from illegal fishing methods.
Director General of the Department of Fisheries and Aquatic Resources Nimal Hettiarachchi said that illegal fishing methods are mostly used in the Trincomalee, Mullaitivu, Mana and Shillao areas. He said that these methods pose a threat to the marine life. He also added that a number of fishing boats and gear used for this purpose has been seized during raids. The department's Director General further stated that fishermen from Mana have been arrested and legal action has been taken against them for engaging in illegal forms of fishing.
Well, moving on, a person has died and another injured in an accident which occurred at the railway level crossing located in close proximity to the Purvarama Vihare in Aludgama. The police media unit said that the accident occurred at around 6:45 last evening.
The police stated that the accident occurred when two persons travelling on a motorcycle went across the railway track while the gate was closed. The police media spokesperson said that the two persons on the motorcycle were under the influence of alcohol. The pillion rider had died in the accident while the rider was admitted to hospital with injuries. Also, Additional General Manager of Railways Nalaka Bandara said that a decision has been taken to not permit the construction of roads in an unsafe manner across railway tracks. He further noted that if a road has to be built across a railway line, it will be done with all necessary safety measures.
In sports, Christopher Froome won the 100th edition of the Tour de France to become the second British champion in successive years.
Froome was untroubled on the 21st and final stage of the three-week race, a 133.5 kilometer ride from Versailles to Paris, and an evening sprint finish on the Champs-Élysées won by Germany's Marcel Kittel. Kittel came out on top in a three-way sprint finish to the line, edging ahead of compatriot Andre Greipel and Britain's Mark Cavendish, who was looking for his fifth straight final stage win. Froome led Colombia's Nairo Quintana by 4 minutes and 20 seconds in the overall standings, with Spain's Joaquim Rodriguez third, a further 44 seconds back. The 28-year-old Briton follows on from compatriot and teammate Bradley Wiggins, who sat out of this year's race for health reasons. The Kenyan-born rider built his success on inspiring attacks in the mountain climbs as well as his time trialing ability. It quickly became clear that his rivals would have to fight for the other podium positions.
Well, Spanish rookie sensation Marc Marquez outdueled pole-sitter Stefan Bradl to win the US Grand Prix and stretch his lead at the top of the MotoGP standings to 16 points.
It was the second consecutive win and third of the season for 20-year-old Marquez, who becomes the youngest rider to win back-to-back races in the Premier class. The previous youngest was American fast Freddie Spencer, the 21-year-old winner of the opening two races of the 1983 season. The factory Honda rider also becomes the first rookie to win at California's Laguna Seca circuit with its famed corkscrew twisting turn. Bradl, the first German to start a Premier class race on pole in the modern era of Grand Prix racing since 1974, settled for second and his first podium in MotoGP. Italy's 7-time world champion Valentino Rossi completed the podium places after holding off Spain's Alvaro Bautista to take third for Yamaha. Marquez has 163 points to compatriot and teammate Daniel Pedrosa's 147.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Well, with that, we wrap up our lunchtime news bulletin for this afternoon. I'm Aaron Rajaratnam, the news first.